and I don't take it for granted for 1 minute. Not one. I think that Teresa has lost sight of that. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. They made her the most powerful. They paused the show when she went to jail. I say it all the time. Teresa's not going to be fired. I still kind of feel that way. We'll get into that more. But I mean, I don't know. She might be, but I still think it's not likely or it's not definite. And so I feel that the 100% that I used to say that Teresa would never lose her job for me is not 100% anymore at all. And I feel, I mean, I've been there for weeks. The whole cast has been there for weeks, understanding what Andy is saying, rebrand, this and that. And so to me, it's like, are you dumb? Are you truly that dumb that you haven't realized what's going on for the past 11 weeks while this has been airing? Or are you just arrogant and not understanding that you are an employee who makes the most money on a show that's not doing well? And when we put dollars and cents up on the board, that's how we could save a lot of money. I still don't see a world in which we can call a show The Real Housewives of New Jersey and not have Teresa. I really think a total reboot would happen before we kept certain cast members, unless you kept Fuda and Cabral and maybe Fessler. And then it's just a clear division that we started over with these three, and these are the three newbies, and that's how we're going forward. I think, and I don't, it's nothing against Melissa. I just don't see how you can call it The Real Housewives of New Jersey and keep Melissa and not Teresa. I still can't, despite all this stuff Teresa's been up to. So either we're going to keep some people, or I really think, and I think New Jersey's over. Because I don't think they're going to keep Teresa under these circumstances. I think they want to. I think they may, but I think this is a mess and she makes a ton of money. And then a reboot, I don't think we didn't do a reboot in Atlanta after we did one in New York. And I think, to me, that is so telling that I don't think the reboot really works and knocks it out of the park. I think they're better off just going to Connecticut, go to Philadelphia, go to some neighboring state and start over like they did with Salt Lake. I mean, good luck in finding the right cast, but you did with Salt Lake. So I still do think, though, a total reboot would happen before they kept Melissa and not Teresa. And I think Melissa's doing nothing wrong. I think she's having a good season. Yeah, a lot of it's in the edit, but I just think Teresa, for the first time, the motivation behind this statement to me is because she is afraid of her job. Boiling it down, simple. I don't think there's any other reason. It's either to protect your children, and I don't see anything happening to your children, or it's to keep your job. I see no other reason why the woman who thinks everyone bows to her would issue this statement. So I don't think personally it was the right move, because for everything I just said, when someone has an opinion of me that is so wrong, I won't address it because there's no point. People don't listen. People that are tree huggers are disgusted with the bloggers for ruining New Jersey, and they don't see that Teresa started it, along with Margaret, Melissa. And I don't think Dolores is so innocent. And the people that are anti-Teresa feel, so the bottom line is the tree huggers feel that way, and the people that are anti-Teresa. So nothing like this, no one read this statement, no one analyzed it. I don't think there's a discussion happening. I think people are now either slamming Melissa for responding or slamming Teresa for leaving it. And I feel nothing has been accomplished. The tree huggers are still the tree huggers. The people that are anti are still the anti. People are going to hate on me from yesterday, from Melissa's old nose. I don't scare. I don't pander. I'll have any guest that I want. That's how we got to 5 years. But my point is, I don't think statements like this matter, because I don't think people can see the other side. I can see both sides, but I don't think most people can. I don't think most people, maybe they can and they don't want to. So I feel the statement did nothing except divide people, even further or the same, not even further. But so I don't know the point of this statement. So it didn't accomplish anything. No one is, I mean, I don't know. Did she want Melissa to say go? Yes. And, Melissa to think of all the online hate she got and Margaret. And then all her castmates will say, fuck the bloggers and let's all come together. I mean, that's not what happened. Maybe that's what she was hoping as like a last ditch effort. But to me, it means that Teresa, maybe for the first time, is understanding her reality that it's not over per se, but it ain't guaranteed like all the other seasons. And I think her lawyer said, baby, this really could be going away. And finally, which I think is arrogant, she's realizing she ain't protected. All these interviews where it's my show and I'm not leaving till it's over. And well, yeah, she does say, I'll do what Bravo wants. Okay, fine. But I really think in her mind, up until this statement or recently, she really thought there was 0% chance that she was ever going to be fired. I thought it, and I don't think it anymore this season. I still think if we're keeping anyone, it's going to be her with some others. But I don't know. And I don't think they want to keep her with Vitavia and the lawsuits. And Bravo knows they're not dumb. So Bravo knows that you have been up to nasty, devious, unethical shit online. So to post this and act like you haven't is just an insult to the viewing public. Now, again, I ain't saying Marge ain't up to no good. I mean, all of them are up to no good. So, I mean, Melissa's old nose told the story about how she was involved with this whole thing with John Fuda's criminal past, about putting it out there and how she wanted to get it out there, this whole thing. So I don't think Teresa's learned. I think she's still up behind the scenes of doing bad. It really is. I've gotten rid of people like this in my life. There are people, it is a personality trait where they want an inch, you give them an inch and they take a mile. And then after they do that, you're like, I've learned, like, fuck me once, you're an asshole. Fuck me twice, I'm an asshole. You learn, and then they're so desperate. Something happens, and they're so desperate, and they're so down. You have all the power now. They're looking up at you. They're so desperate for a crumb from you. And then you forget, and you feel bad, and you give them a crumb. You give them a little crumb. They were just about to be homeless. They were just about to sleep in whatever it is. They're so desperate, and you give them a crumb. And with one little crumb, they now think they're president of the United States. There's no in between. I feel that's how Teresa is. I feel she's feeling vulnerable now, but you're still doing all the stuff behind the scenes from what my sources are telling me. So you haven't learned anything. So, and Bravo knows, and that is a reason not to keep her. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't read this and then say enough is enough and like screw everyone and poor Teresa. So I do feel it is just to save her job that this was issued. And I don't fault that because I would do anything to save my job for $2 million or 2.5 or whatever it is. I don't work for Bravo, so cannot confirm nor deny. But I would do whatever I had to save it. Also, absolutely. I mean, granted, if you're running around saying that Louis should have got you to sign a prenup because he has so much money and Louis has so much money, I mean, why are you really worried? I mean, the house is only in his name and he can kick you out at any point. But that's a whole nother story, which